What's happening, people? We're back here once again on CubCamTV for this, another edition of CubReacts. I'm super excited to be back inside the building for this one. We're going to see Not3s team up with man like AJ Tracey for a brand new track entitled One More Time. Really excited to get into this one. As always, out to every single one of you supporting the channel. We are so close to hitting 4,000 subscribers, which means if we do it by the end of this week, that means we will have done it in 8 months exactly, which is incredible to me. A massive shout out to each and every one of you who has been helping. If you aren't already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button, get involved, obviously turn the notifications on, leave a like on the video, comment, all that good stuff. As well as that, you can catch me on socials at KXVU on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and SoundCloud. Loads of good stuff available there. So there's a couple of things I need to mention before we get into this reaction video. The first of which is there will be a lot of pauses during this video. The only reason I say this is because whenever I don't say it, loads of the comments are, why are you pausing so much? There's 2 reasons for that. The first reason is this is an analytical breakdown, meaning we're going to basically break this tune down in its entirety. Everything from the vocal performances to the production levels to the lyricism, if we need to break it down. Everything in that sort of area we're going to be literally breaking down and discussing on a musical level. So if that's not for you, feel free to watch a different reaction video. That's perfectly fine. However, if you are keen on watching that sort of thing, please do stick around. And obviously, we have to be aware of copyright as well. They are out to get me at the moment. I've had about 6 videos in the last week not be able to be uploaded, and it's so long doing them and then them not being allowed to be uploaded. So just so you're aware, there's numerous reasons why there are a lot of pauses. So I don't want to see it in the comments. But let's crack on and get on with this one then. We are here for the premiere as per. Sounds of Not3s and AJ Tracey. Very exciting to get into this one. Very interesting intro by the sound of thing. Unusual instrumentation. Not entirely sure what that is. It sounds like almost like a, I don't even know, like a reversed, like woodwind sort of thing, a reverse flute of some kind, like a South American sort of style flute, maybe a pan flute. Who knows? Video's looking fun as well. We're going expensive on this one. Just before we hit that drop, I've just realised what it reminds me of. It reminds me of very early grime instrumentals, so hopefully that's something we get to hear both of them over. I've never heard Not3s over 140. Obviously, we know how good AJ can be over 140, so let's crack.
She got no spice when her hands tangled in my eyes. I've seen your man, he's out there trying to earn some strength.
I won't lie to you. I genuinely thought my headphones weren't plugged in properly then. I didn't realise it was being phased in. I get it though. Now I understand. Now I get it. So fair enough. I was literally saying, probably saw go like, why does this sound so weird? But it's literally a filter. I didn't expect that.
Diligent, rain no mix, I'm militant. The girls on the grab me imminent. Tell Big Steve get rid of them. Tick ties in the skin tone cinnamon.
I've got to say this instrumental is cold right from the off. I don't know who's on production for it, but the kind of sweeping synthesizer stuff they've got going on, those bass textures just kind of going like underneath, and then with the little vocal samples over the top. Really, really cool piece of production. I feel this is definitely a bag that AJ is very, very strong in as well. The verses started off really well.
Promoters want me for a headline. I'ma need a quarter minimum. Yeah, element. Drink in my hand, that's element.
I do like this sort of layout they've got. It's almost like pitching to the label execs in the suits. You know, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting off it. It's literally it's interesting as well because AJ, I think AJ is signed. I don't know if he's entirely independent, but he definitely has a lot of independent about what he does. He might be entirely independent. I'm not entirely sure. Do leave it in the comments down below if we know whether he is or isn't independent, because it's quite a cool kind of perspective to have him kind of going, look, I'm in this massive big house, I need this much money or I'm not doing it, and then the label execs are just launching pieces of paper at him.
You're irrelevant, don't follow rules, I'm a renegade. Mix Magnum with my lemonade. I do not date, I'll serenade. I'm around sauce like LMA.
You know what, the patterns he's using as well, the vocal maneuvers he's using are, I feel this is him kind of going, you know what, this sort of tempo, this is me, this is what I'm solid at, this is where I come from, this is what I grew up doing, you can't really test me on this sort of tempo. And to me, this is AJ in his bag. When he is over that sort of 140 sounding structure, halftime as well, he's able to weave patterns that the artists that aren't necessarily from a 140 background are able to do. So he's kind of showing a level of mastery here is what he's doing.
Each came true with the army, but we don't beef for Banani. Big back, Barbie, foreign,
and the way he's then integrating, that's a really funny bit of animation. The way he's then integrating those sort of drilly flows over it as well, the stuttered sort of start-stop patterns that we're so used to hearing over drill instrumentals. He's now kind of mixing a bit of that and going, look, I can do that as well. It's a really good display from AJ so far on a vocal level and on a technical level. He's ticking all the boxes.
Went from a pushback to a Rari, went from a Ridgeback to a Lambo. I'm around whips like Django. Yeah.
Talk that money, AJ. You earned your money. Talk that money. You deserve it, man. It's sick to see. I won't lie. Out of the crew that kind of came up alongside AJ, obviously, we saw Big Zoo, Capo Lee. They're all from the same sort of background. They did have a collective name, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I do apologise. I probably should have known that. But I've got to say, AJ is one of the artists in the UK that has grown on me significantly over time. And realistically, the more he's kind of gone through this more sort of commercialised journey and then returned almost, he kind of flips in and out, which is what I really like. He's not restrained by anything. He didn't kind of make a jump and suddenly all he does is commercial stuff. He's never done that. He's kind of dipped in here and there, done a couple of more, shall we say, commercially viable bangers, then dropped in and done stuff like this, which is still very grime in its essence. So it's sick to see. Let's go, Notes. Let's see what you got.
We live that life where we ain't gotta check the price. She catch for spice when her hands tangled in my eyes.
You know what? Notes has a very unique vocal tone. I think what he's quite good at is being able to harmonise and add essentially what is singing without it sounding like he's putting that much kind of strain on his voice. You know, it sounds quite effortless to him. Like it sounds like it's something it sounds like he almost talks in like harmonics. It's really, really cool. I mean, I think it's a nice addition to AJ's verse as well. I think if he'd have come in like super all over the place with auto-tunes and scales after AJ's verse over this instrumental, it would have felt a little bit much, I feel. So it's kind of cool to see him be a bit more reserved on it.
Come hit me one more time, baby, hit me one more time. One more time, baby, hit me one more time. One more time, baby.
Really like that harmonizing in the background. They've done like the perfect growth to this hook, because obviously most hooks now seem to be 16 bars. So the first 8 bar he pretty much ran over doing typical notes, and now in the background we've got this female chorus vocal going over it as well, working really nicely together.
One more time, baby, hit me one more time. No, you ain't mine, but come hit me one more time. Notes and AJ mash up the board like Jordan and Scottie.
Let's go! This is what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear Notes bars. That's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear him go over a 140 beat. This is the thing. I guarantee at some point in his life, Notes was a grime MC, because everyone was a grime MC from this generation at some point in their life, you know? Whether it was when they were first starting off, whether they evolved very quickly into something different. I feel so many of this kind of era that broke through at a similar sort of time. When you look at Notes, you look at Rams, you look at all of these people from AJ especially, so many of these heads who all broke through over the same sort of 2-3 year period. There is no way the majority of them didn't turn up to a grime set once or twice. So it's sick to see this. This is what I've been looking forward to.
They play their position. She got blood on her heels, not an ordinary Christian. Got my ish in her throat, in her chest I keep on digging. Yeah, the island.
Woof. This went very explicit very quickly, and now we're seeing what I wanted to see from Notes. He's going with flows and vocal patterns, but also adding that melodic energy to it as well, and this is something that does kind of set him apart from a lot of other UK artists. I feel Notes almost releases too infrequently to have kind of grown to the level he could and maybe should have been, but what he's done with this so far is really showcase why he should be at that level, if that makes sense. I hope that does make sense. And again, I did tell you there was going to be a lot of pauses, so if you're thinking about that,
temperature is risen. Push pendant, always driven. They pray, guys want mine, girls want me. All of my ladies are.
It sounds so good the way he does it, man. The dip and weave and the movement on it. I feel it's something that in the UK it seems to be you either are very much about flow, you're very much about not having flow to an extent, or you're very much about sort of melody. And I feel he ticks boxes for both flows and melodies on this verse, which is, for me, I feel the best artists have both, you know, whether the melody isn't as apparent, like with someone like a Getz, where the melody isn't as apparent, but it's there, you just don't necessarily notice it, and it's almost like very subtle in the way it's put through. Notes is a lot more melodic, and this is where we're seeing him really experiment with flows as well, which I love.
RV ain't one typical shorty. We live that life where we ain't gotta check the price. She catch.
Instrumental is so cold as well. Like, it's just been kind of working away in the background. It's allowed Notes to be very melodic. It's allowed AJ to just come out and do his thing the way we want to hear it, and it doesn't sound out of place anywhere. It's got a happy element to it. It's got a lot of old school grimy flavors on there as well, taking me back to sort of like early Rough Squad sort of vocal patterns and vocal kind of manipulation on there as well. Really cool piece of production. I'm going to check out afterwards who the producer for this one was. I'm assuming it's someone industry based. If not, it'd be very cool to see who they are, because they've smashed this to pieces.
Spice when her hands tangled in my eyes. I've seen your man, he's out here trying to earn some stripes. Come hit me one more time, baby.
I'm loving the fact they've just set up a bouncy castle in front of this countryside manor house. Fair enough. The mansion's not enough, people. We need a bouncy castle. We've got a literal castle behind us. No, it's fine. Set up a bouncy castle. Do you reckon there was like 100 quid left over on the budget, and they went, you know what? Bouncy castle. That's what we need to order.
One more time, baby, hit me one more time. One more time, baby, hit me one more time.
Do you know what I like about the video as well is it's clearly a high budget video just for the locations they're using, the amount of people that are involved, but it's still not OTT, you know. It's they're kind of the chorus and what he's talking about in the chorus being very much about like we're living a life where we don't really have to worry about things. This video does kind of represent that. They've kind of got this massive house and they've gone, you know what, let's just put a bouncy castle at the front, we don't care. So it does kind of tie in quite nicely, I suppose. It does make sense. I don't know if that's part of the directing, the sort of direction angle they went in, but maybe.
Hit me one more time. No, you ain't mine, but come hit me one more time.
I think that's pretty much us done. This has been a wicked show. I've really enjoyed this one. It was a little bit less commercial sounding than I thought it would be. I'm just going to run it through, see if there's any bits at the end. We're just hearing the mastery of that instrumental. They almost sound like violins, the way they've been kind of sliced up and chopped together, but I'm pretty sure it's like a reversed pan flute, maybe. I may be entirely wrong on that, and it may be some obscure string instrument that I don't know the name of, but genius levels of production. And there we go. Outro, we are here. Right then, people, I do hope you have enjoyed this breakdown. Really enjoyed this one. It was good to see Not3s and AJ come together on it. It was good to see them both sound very much in their bag as well. Neither of them sounded out of place. Both of them sounded like they belonged over this tune. Again, massive shouts out to the producer, because the instrumental is crazy. It's ridiculously good. If this one does come out on promo, I'm definitely going to be looking to snag the instrumental for a bed on the radio show. Remember, you can catch me over on Breakfast with KXVU, as you can see there, Monday to Friday, live from 7 till 10 in AM. You can lock in via the Trickstar radio app or via DAB, the website, Radio Cult, or TuneIn. So make sure you do get involved. As well as that, you can catch me on TikTok at KXVU, of course. It's the same on everything, and there's clips being posted up on there regularly. And of course, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, turn notifications on, leave a comment, let us know if you agree or disagree with the breakdown we gave, and of course, leave a like, and we shall see you all next time. Peace.